Welcome back to the AI Shift, where we decode the signals in the noise of artificial intelligence. I'm your host, Olivia. Today, we're talking about a move by Google that feels less like a feature update and more like a declaration of war on OpenAI. If you've been hesitant to switch from ChatGPT to Gemini because you don't want to lose 2 years of conversation history, your brainstorming, your code snippets, your late-night philosophical debates, Google is building a bridge to walk you right out of OpenAI's walled garden. Joining me to discuss the security and strategic implications of this is a man who knows a thing or two about breaking through digital walls. He's the security researcher who famously posted on Mark Zuckerberg's private Facebook wall to prove a bug existed. Welcome to the show, Khalil Shreateh.
Thanks for having me, Olivia. It's good to be here. And yes, I do like finding ways through walls, whether they are Facebook's privacy settings or, in this case, the data walls between AI giants.
Exactly. So, Khalil, let's dive into the news reported by Android Police and TestingCatalog. Google is testing a feature called Import AI Chats. The code suggests users can export their data from ChatGPT and drag and drop it straight into Gemini. On the surface, this looks like a simple convenience tool. But as a security expert, what do you see when you look at this?
I see a very smart, aggressive maneuver to break what we call ecosystem lock-in. You see, right now, the biggest advantage ChatGPT has isn't just the model quality, it's your history. That history is effectively your external memory. Technically, this is interesting. We know ChatGPT allows you to export your data in a JSON file, a standard file type. Google is essentially building a parser that reads OpenAI's file structure and reconstructs it within Gemini's interface. It's like moving from an iPhone to Android. The hardest part isn't the phone, it's the contacts and photos. Google is saying, we'll take the photos, we'll take the contacts, just come over.
Right, and Android Authority noted that this feature appeared in the beta version with a specific Import AI Chats option in the attachment menu. It seems they are also looking at importing from Claude and others eventually. But Khalil, I want to ask about the privacy aspect. If I take a file containing everything I've told ChatGPT for the last year, which might include work documents, personal advice, maybe even medical questions, and I upload that to Google, what are the risks?
That is the million-dollar question. When you export your data from ChatGPT, it comes down as a zip file. It's unencrypted text on your computer for that moment. If you were on a public computer or a compromised device, that file is vulnerable. Then you upload it to Google. You have to ask, how is Google ingesting this? The leaks suggest this data becomes part of your Gemini app's activity. This usually means 2 things. 1, it's stored in your Google history, and 2, unless you change your settings, it could theoretically be used to further train Google's models.
So I'm essentially taking my training data that I gave to OpenAI and voluntarily handing it to Google to train their model too.
In a way, yes. You are cross-pollinating the AI. From a security standpoint, my concern is always user awareness. People click import without thinking. They might have pasted passwords or API keys into ChatGPT 6 months ago and forgot. Now that sensitive data is being moved to a new environment. If your Google account isn't secured with strong 2FA, you've just expanded the attack surface of your personal data.
That's a great point. It's not just the chats, it's the secrets buried in the chats. Now, looking at the broader strategy, Google isn't just stopping at text. The reports mention they're upgrading image generation downloads to 2K and 4K resolution and working on a likeness tool to verify video authenticity. It feels like they're trying to build the super app of AI.
They have to. You know, when I found that bug on Facebook years ago, it was because I was looking for holes in a system that seemed invincible. OpenAI seems invincible right now because they were first, but Google has the infrastructure. By adding 4K images and this likeness tool, which I suspect is their answer to deepfake concerns, they're trying to create a safe, professional environment. They want Gemini to be the adult in the room. The import tool is just the onboarding ramp. They're saying, bring your baggage, we have a bigger closet.
Bring your baggage. I love that. Let's touch on the likeness tool briefly. Android Police mentioned it might be used to verify if a video was AI generated. Given your background in social media exploits, is this actually going to work? Can we technically watermark AI content reliably?
It is cat and mouse, Olivia, always. You build a wall, someone builds a taller ladder. Google can add metadata. They can use invisible watermarking like SynthID, but an attacker can screen record, compress, or modify the file to strip those markers. However, for the average user, these tools are vital. If Gemini didn't tell you, hey, this video of the president isn't real, that's a huge value add. It builds trust, and in the security world, trust is the currency. If users trust Gemini more than ChatGPT to handle their data and protect them from fakes, they will switch.
So the import tool gets them in the door, and the trust tools keep them there.
Exactly. But I would advise your listeners, before you use this import feature when it goes live, do a sanitize run. Download your ChatGPT data, open that JSON or HTML file, and search for keywords like password, address, or bank. Clean your data before you feed it to the next giant.
That is excellent practical advice. Sanitize before you synchronize. Khalil, we have about a minute left. If you had to predict, will this feature actually make people switch? Is the friction of losing chat history really the thing holding people back?
I think for power users, developers, and writers, yes. We reference old chats constantly. I have code snippets in my ChatGPT history that I don't want to rewrite. If Google makes it a one-click process to move that external brain over, the barrier to entry drops to zero. OpenAI should be worried. Google is waking up.
Google is waking up and they're asking for your chat logs. Khalil Shreateh, thank you so much for joining us and breaking this down. Where can people find you online?
You can find me on my blog or just search my name. Hopefully not on your private Facebook wall this time.
Hope so not. Thank you, Khalil.